How's it going, YouTube? My name's Elvin Ninja 7, your resident Mistweaver monk. And guys, there is so much news coming at us recently, and I'm currently rendering a video talking about last or yesterday's news, but they just dropped some War Within talent changes, like all these changes to classes. And yeah, Mistweaver is basically getting a talent tree rework or overhaul. It's slight adjustments, but in the grand scheme of things, there's some pretty major changes. So we're going to break them down, talk about them, and it's actually pretty exciting. I don't know the last time we've gotten something like this drastic of a shift since maybe the start of Dragonflight. So I guess they kind of do this at the beginning of each tier. But yeah, this is exciting. Trust me, but let's get into it. So we're going to kind of skip some of this stuff first. Instead, we're going to start off by talking about what like some things that have moved around on the tree. So for starters, you'll notice Essence Font is removed. And from what I'm hearing, Essence Font is also taken off, like the Essence Font side effect of your J Fire Stomp hitting people, that has also been removed. So as a whole, Essence Font, the hot, the effect, everything about it is removed. Thus, some of the talents that kind of go with it are also removed. So Font of Life, Essence Font, out of the game. Which a lot of people, like Essence Font is really polarizing. Most people kind of hate it because it's kind of just there. And we were kind of tortured by having to press it to activate Ancient Teachings in Shadowlands. And then a lot of people do enjoy it because of how it doubles your mastery procs. People that enjoy when you would go like Chi-Ji, Jade Bond builds in Raid and just go kind of crazy with your mastery procs. It's very love or hate. So I'm kind of glad to see it gone so that we can kind of move on with the spec and just see what the next step holds. But since it has been removed, they have shifted down Thunder Focus Tea to take its spot. And then they have moved Mana Tea to take that central spot over Thunder Focus Tea. So now you basically have to go Thunder Focus Tea if you weren't for some reason already going it. And then so Mana Tea's moved here. So what's taken Mana Tea's place? Well, Healing Elixir took Mana Tea's place. And then what took Healing Elixir's place? Well, the Energizing Brew Life Cycles talent node, which I believe is it just might be both of them. No. Life Cycles is removed. So it's apparently just Healing or Energizing Brew. So since Life Cycles was removed, it still shows a talent node here or a choice node here. So I don't know if they're basically revamping Life Cycles or what's going on here. I have not been able to test this on War Within Alpha. This is all I have. But yeah, it still looks like a talent or a choice node. But what has replaced Energizing Brew? Chi Harmony, baby. It made it baseline. It made it into the kit, into the talents. We're not losing it at the end of the Dragonflight. So Chi Harmony is our current tier set, and we fell in love with it so much from Season 3. We voted to bring it back in Season 4, and it's made it into Mistweaver's kit as a whole. So super awesome stuff. There's also been some things that have shifted around. So Ancient Teachings is now more to the left of the tree, whereas it was where Pure into Peace is now. Those kind of just did a little switcheroo, and instead, Clouded Focus has been completely removed. So yeah, those are all the kind of like shifts, but let's just break these things down one by one. So like we said, Essence Font, Font of Life, out of the game. Same with Essence Font effect on Jade Fire Stomp. So I've heard from people that have tested it. And then Thunder Focus Tea, we know, moved to replace Essence Font on the tree. Mana Tea then took Thunder Focus Tea's spot on the tree. Healing Elixir moved to where Mana Tea was on that right side of the tree. And then Energizing Brew / Life Cycles Choice node moved to Healing Elixir's location right here, where Healing Elixir is now here. I just kind of pointed all these things out, but we're just going down the line. And then, notably, Echoing Reverberation is removed. This is the talent that if you have an enveloping mist on a target and you Zen Pulse them, it would then reverberate, doing another Zen Pulse with 80% of its effectiveness before. So Zen Pulse triggers a second time at 80% effectiveness. It casts on targets with Enveloping Mist. Now, you probably know this talent because of our Mythic Plus build. And in current WoW, it does share a talent node with a talent that you probably don't even know what it does. This one right here, Accumulating Mists, I want to say is what it's called. Accumulating Mist. Yeah, see, it's just no one takes it. My video just got done rendering, but yeah, Accumulating Mist, it shares a talent node and no one takes Accumulating Mist. They take echoing reverberation. So we will talk about why they're removing this in just a second, but let's keep getting through these talent changes or these moved talents. Life cycles has been removed, which once again kind of makes me question why is it still showing a talent node. I think they just reused graphics here, maybe. I don't know. There could be something else hiding there. They also removed clouded focus, which used to share this talent node here with ancient teaching. So they just completely took clouded focus out of the game. Clouded focus was just like a big source of power for us in our raid build because it extended our mana bar, making our spells much cheaper to cast, but also empowered them as you stuck to a target in a soothing mist. However, with the introduction of Peer into Peace, which has been like an insanely good talent, it has created a little bit of friction between these two talents because if you're bouncing around to different people in the same soothing mist, you are resetting that cloud of focus stack. But if you stick to the target, then you're getting the full benefit of cloud of focus. So there is a little bit of friction in what you want to do inside of a soothing mist. So having it removed does make me worry about our mana a bit, but they're usually pretty good about balancing mana costs and stuff. So hopefully that doesn't become too much of an issue. But Cloud of Focus was a huge source of power. But Peer into Peace is very powerful. Once again, the only thing I'm really worried about losing Cloud of Focus is that mana, because we will get into something a little bit later that kind of offsets the healing bonus. And then once again, finally, we said Peer into Peace and Ancient Teachings basically swapped locations with Cloud of Focus being removed from this talent node. So all in all, very good changes in the placement of things, since they were getting rid of Essence Font, something that was, you know, assumed to be very core to our build. Now it's gone and everything kind of looks like it's in a good spot. Especially, I love the Ancient Teachings change. Now this whole bottom left portion of the tree is all of our, quote, fist weaving, you know, the mythic plus talents that you usually take there. So really good that all that stuff is more stacked together instead of having to kind of like awkwardly come over here, get ancient teachings, then go over here and get the rest of the Phaline stuff or the Jadefire Stomp stuff. So pretty good, pretty thumbs up there. Now we are going to get into this class tuning after we get into the new talents. So the first new talent, you've probably already noticed it. It is called Crane Style. So if you take this talent, your Rising Sun Kick will now kick up 2 Gusts of Mists, so 2 Mastery procs to heal your allies. Now, this is a passive that Chi-Ji gives, so if you have Chi-Ji out and you Rising Sun Kick, it'll kick up 2 Mastery procs. If you Blackout Kick, it'll kick up 2 Mastery procs, but this is just a separate passive talent. So I believe, once again, I have not tested this, I believe that this will stack on top of Chi-Ji. So if you have Chi-Ji out and you Rising Sun Kick, it should kick up 2 masteries from Chi-Ji, 2 masteries from, Crane Style. This is both really good and really bad because you are guaranteed, if that's the case, you are guaranteed 4 mastery procs to hit when you Rising Sun Kick. Whereas before, you needed those mastery procs to hit a target with Essence Font in order to get the full 4 there. So that is pretty good, a pretty cool talent that you're going to be guaranteed that during your Chi-Ji window, the full 4 mastery procs from Rising Sun Kick. However, this does come with the benefit of your outside of Chi-Ji, your Rising Sun Kicks are also going to do a little bit more spread healing. We see this in like Resto Druids, how they're treants. They cast Nourish on one target, but they kind of cleave onto 2 other targets. So it's just really nice healing for AoE healing scenarios. So pretty cool, a pretty nice buff to the maintenance healing to our Ancient Teachings playstyle Mythic Plus. Maybe even might see it in Raid. We usually see the melee Ancient Teachings build kind of popular at the beginning of tiers because Mastery's kind of just scaled wonkily, but wonkily? That's a word. But then this also says Spinning Crane Kick and Blackout Kick have a chance to kick up a Gust of Mist to heal 1 ally. So just 1, but that's pretty cool because Blackout Kick, you can get up to 12 Blackout Kicks with 1 button press if you stack up your Ancient Teachings properly. So pretty cool. We just don't know what this chance is. Also, Spinning Crane Kick, we kind of spin to win on AoE packs and just press this button over and over. So just a nice little bonus. We'll have to see how often this procs. Man, I'm sadly having to re-record this section because I misread it. But Zen Pulse, okay, so they're replacing Zen Pulse with Zen Pulse. And it's because it's no longer a button we have to press. It is going to be a passive. However, sadly, they're taking off the damage portion of this talent, which, man, the first time I read this, I thought it was still going to do damage, and I thought this was crazy. I thought it was like a corrosive dosage esque talent, but no, they took off the damage of Zen Pulse. Now, all it does is your Renewing Mist heal over time has a chance to cause your next Vivify to trigger a Zen Pulse on its target and on allies with Renewing Mist, and that healing will be increased by 6% up to 30%, depending on how many Renewing Mists you have out. So every time your Renewing Mist tick, or every time they heal, you're going to have a chance to gain a buff, I'm guessing, called Zen Pulse. And once again, I have not tested this, but this is just how I'm reading it. And then the next time that you Vivify someone, it's going to consume that Zen Pulse, and then everyone with a Renewing Mist plus your one target for that Vivify is going to get a bonus little heal of a Zen Pulse for hopefully a large amount. But dang, imagine this with all the new talents. Like, imagine this with Peer into Peace. If Zen Pulse still did damage in War Within, man, that would be sick. That would make Caster Monk go crazy in Mythic Plus if the proc rate was high. But no, unfortunately, it just does not work this way. But they did also keep accumulating mist in. They did, however, remove the other talent, Echoing Reverberation, which would then, if you had an Enveloping Mist on that target, it would do a second little burst at 80% effectiveness. Instead, keeping Accumulating Mist is weird because if you let your Soothing Mist tick up 6 times and then cast a Vivify, it'll do it'll basically do 2.5 times the normal damage. So, or I'm sorry, the normal healing now. My bad, Zen Pulse doesn't do damage anymore, but yeah, very weird to keep accumulating mist in because no one takes this. But I guess now it does kind of make your. I guess this does scale up the longer you stay in a Soothing Mist, kind of like how Cloud of Focus used to. So this is probably that like replacement. Is now you're incentivized to take this to scale up your Zen Pulse as you stay in a Soothing Mist, whereas before it was Cloud of Focus that would incentivize you to do that. Now, I hope Accumulating Mist does not reset every time you swap targets with Peer into Peace, because that would be lame. That's how Cloud of Focus works now. I just have not tested this, even though that interaction is literally in the game right now. But that would be really cool, is if you could just bounce around a couple targets, and then after 6 ticks of your Soothing Mist, if you get that Zen Pulse proc, then start slamming those Vivifies, and you'll get a giant Zen Pulse on everyone. But once again, we're just going to have to wait and see. But man, I wish this did damage. I wish this did damage. Now, Chi Harmony, like I said, we love this talent. It is so cool. However, it's just the 2-set. It's just the 2-set side of Chi Harmony. So whenever we Renewing Mist a target, let me find it again. Whenever we Renewing Mist a target, we're also going to apply a buff called Chi Harmony to its target that increases their healing taken from you by 50%. So this really helps in spot healing scenarios, but also just adds up to a lot of healing with our Yulon ramps in Raid, because we pick that target to slam Vivifies into. Those Vivifies are hitting harder. We're just doing more healing. But that storage of healing, and then when the Chi Harmony goes away, it pops and heals everyone with Renewing Mist. That's not coming back. As far as I know, it just looks like we're just getting one talent node devoted to Chi Harmony. That is our 2-set. But hey, that was the coolest part. Okay, the 4-piece is kind of nice, but the 2-set is what makes Chi Harmony very exciting. Now, let's finally move on to the final little section, class and talent tuning. So we start off with our Mastery Gust of Mist, and there's a couple things that they're doing to kind of tweak our Mastery, but this is the number one thing that we have been asking to get reworked for a long time, and this isn't quite a rework, but it's pretty dope. Okay, it makes it more inclusive. So as you know, it works on all of like our spot healing spells like Vivify, Enveloping Mist, Revival, Zen Pulse, that kind of thing. But now it's also going to include Rising Sun Kick and Jadefire Stomp. So this is kind of interesting because Mastery now includes Rising Sun Kick. So I'm guessing that every time you Rising Sun Kick, you're also going to kick up a Mastery. And then if you take Crane Style, it'll also kick up 2 additional Gust of Mists. So I don't really know how this is going to work. Rising Sun Kick is now included in Mastery. I believe it just, yeah, I think it's just going to always kick up a single Gust of Mist. And then, But it's weird because Gust of Mist also says instantly healing the primary target, but you don't target anyone with Rising Sun Kick. Once again, this is just something we're going to have to get in and test. But it also includes Jadefire Stomp. I guess they're replacing that Essence font hot that you shoot through people if they get hit by your Jadefire Stomp with a Mastery proc. Pretty cool. I guess give us something if you're taking Essence font off of that. Pretty cool. And I do like the fact that they're really leaning into the how easy Essence font was, and they're leaning into how like the skill shot of Jadefire Stomp is, because the what can separate a plus 28 key from a plus 27 key is how good you are at aiming your Jadefire Stomp. It does a sizable amount of healing and damage, so pretty cool. Okay, so Mastery getting a slight little tweak. Invigorating Mist, which is your Vivify Cleave on all of your Renewing Mist targets, it's getting buffed by 40%. Now, at the baseline, that's really sick, and you're probably like, whoa, what are they doing? But you also have to remember they're getting rid of Clouded Focus. So one, we probably won't even be able to cast as many Vivifies in Raid because our mana bar is going to be a little bit more strained, or actually a lot of bit more strained. But also that healing isn't going to amp up, so just the baseline of your cleave is going to be higher. Pretty solid there, pretty solid adjustment. Jade Bond, which is one of my all-time favorite talents, but you just don't take it anymore. It is seeing some changes. So this is the one that buffs your mastery procs that come from your Chi-Ji, but then also your mastery procs will reduce your Chi-Ji's cooldown, and that's kind of the only reason you would take it. You basically never take Jade Bond if you're running Yu'lon, because you just don't proc mastery enough to make it worth it, and 1 minute Yu'lon is kind of what makes the class crazy in Raid. But they're giving this talent a little bit of merit if depending on which one you take. So Chi-Ji's healing is increased by 40% if you take Jade Bond. The reason they're doing this is because if you remember Essence font before, if an ally had an Essence font on them and you kick up a Mastery proc while Chi-Ji's out, and that Mastery proc chooses that Essence font target to hit, it would proc twice. Now that that Essence font aspect is removed, Jade Bond kind of compensates for that. So Chi-Ji's healing is going to be increased by 40%. Pretty cool. But once again, you kind of lose that burstiness of Essence font with Chi-Ji. But we weren't really pressing Essence font before it anyways, because we weren't stacking mastery. We were instead just relying on the passive free Essence font we got from shooting our Phalanx through allies. But yeah, that's been removed. So this is kind of being added to compensate. But also, they're making this more exciting for Yu'lon, because we never take this with Yu'lon. So Yu'lon's Soothing Breath is going to be increased by 300%. So Yu'lon will be doing 300% more healing, but basically if you take this over the other talent it shares a node with, but it'll have 200% less uptime, or it'll just be up a lot less. Okay, I'm not going to do that math. Maybe I shouldn't do math on a video, but yeah, a lot less uptime, but stronger. The problem is that Yu'lon doesn't just do a lot of healing itself. It also makes you do a lot of healing. So having higher uptime will probably still be worth it. But hey, Jade Bond's going to be something to explore. I just highly doubt that Jade Bond with Yu'lon is going to be worth losing the 1 minute cooldown. But yeah, Chi-Ji doing more healing is pretty dope. And then finally, the final change they're doing, Resplendent Mist, which is the talent that makes our Gust of Mist, our Mastery procs, have a chance to do more healing, is getting nerfed because we're going to be getting a lot more free Mastery procs. Yes, we're losing the whole synergy with Essence font, which you would think kind of offsets this, but I'm sure in their testing they did find that those Rising Sun Kick Mastery procs were probably just happening too often. We were probably way too incentivized to stack haste just to get Rising Sun Kick off cooldown more often, getting just bonus healing for free. So Gust of Mist has a 30% chance to do 50 or 100 if you put 2 points here, percent more healing, whereas it used to be 75% more healing or 150% more healing. So a nerf to Resplendent Mist to kind of compensate for the more Rising Sun, or the more Mastery procs we're going to be getting from our basically the baseline mastery changing, but also Crane style existing. But yeah, guys, that's it. That's all the changes coming. All in all, I've got to say it, I am very excited to get in and test this. I think 2 doors are starting to kind of creak open as a Mistweaver player. And once again, this is just speculation. I'm gonna have to test it, but it looks like they're really trying to push the choice of the player to either play the whole ancient teachings Chi build and raid again, so that you now have that option alongside Yu'lon as an option. But once again, I was just not accepted in the War Within alpha testing. I tried, trust me. But guys, if you know anyone at Blizzard, hit them up and try to ask them if I can get in next time, because I would love to test these things. But for now, all I can be is just excited. And I'm excited also to hear what you guys have to say down below about these changes. What are you most excited about? Maybe Crane style's cool to you, the new Zimpulse passive, or the mastery changes. Just let me know all that and more down below. And while you're down there, make sure to hit like if you like these changes, or if you just like, how much I love Mistweaver, because I love this spec. I absolutely love it. And I hope that you guys too. And if you're just trying to decide whether to try this spec out or not, hopefully these changes excite you. But as always, thank you so much for the support to this channel, especially to the patrons. These guys hard carry my channel and allow me to continue making videos like this one. So thank you so much if your name is on the screen. But if you want to see your name alongside these guys and support the channel in the way that they do, make sure and check out that Patreon link down in the description below. But guys, my name's ElvinNinja7. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. I'll see you in War Within or just in Season 4 in the meantime. But yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Until then, take care.